Oh my lord, she's dead!
Jokes aside, the creators of The Simpsons know how to deliver a gut punch episode. What scene or moment from a dark Simpsons episode still stays with you to this day? Let us know in the comments.
Number 10. Banksy's Couch Gag. The artist known as Banksy provided a very memorable Simpsons moment. It came when he got to direct the couch gag for this episode. His rendition was hard to forget, complete with kittens, wood chippers, and children being forced to work with dangerous chemicals in an overcrowded factory. Those were just some of the bleak things Banksy showed that made viewers and the bigwigs uncomfortable. Some moments from the gag actually ended up getting censored by Fox.
Even though we're being broadcast on Fox, there's no need for obnoxious hooting and hollering.
The couch gag could be a bit tough to watch, but Banksy's social commentary was a clever way to shed light on some important issues. Number 9. Sideshow Bob's Revenge. Sideshow Bob has always been an unhinged individual, yet Cape Feare is arguably his most terrifying appearance. That's because in this episode, which was directly inspired by the '91 Robert De Niro movie Cape Feare, Sideshow Bob tries to kill Bart. Terrified, the Simpsons family goes into hiding and gains new identities.
Now, when I say hello, Mr. Thompson, and press down on your foot, you smile and nod.
No problem.
Hello, Mr. Thompson.
I think he's talking to you.
That's still not enough to evade this bloodthirsty psychopath, though. Bart and the family managed to survive Sideshow Bob's pursuit, but his sheer dedication, pure bloodlust, and obvious insanity were enough to make us want to sleep with the nightlights on.
Well, Bart, any last requests?
Number 8. Frank Lets Loose. Don't try to get too comfortable. It might just kill you. Down on his luck, Frank Grimes gets a job at the Springfield power plant.
You know?
Yes. My name is Frank Grimes.
I'm Lenny. This is Carl and Homer. I'm Lenny.
But when he meets Homer, all he can think about is how a guy like him has a nice house, family, and friends. Everything that Frank's only ever dreamed of.
And what do you have to show for your lifetime of sloth and ignorance?
What?
Everything!
This unhealthy obsession with Homer leads Frank into a downward spiral, and he meets his grim end when he tries to follow in Homer's footsteps and loosen up. We wish Frank would have gotten the happy ending, but sadly fate, or the writers anyway, had other plans.
Frank Grimes, or Grimy as he liked to be called, taught us that a man can triumph over adversity.
Number 7. They killed Martin? Bart and Lisa tangled with their guilt after they thought they were responsible for the death of Martin.
Oh my God. We're murderers. Hey, I was trying to help him. At worst, I'm an accomplice. I'm an accomplice!
The panic all started after Bart decided to play a prank on the unsuspecting classmate. While Lisa tried to rescue Martin from the cliff he stumbled onto, she made things worse by accidentally causing him to fall off of it.
Grab onto this. Come on, wake up!
The apparent death was a dark enough moment just on its own, but the choices that Bart and Lisa weighed over were just as unsettling. Bart suggested they tell the authorities, while Lisa suggested otherwise. The drastic change in character for both of them was surprising, but thinking you're responsible for the murder will probably do that.
I can't live with the guilt. I'm going to Martin's house. To end it all?
Luckily, it was revealed that Martin actually survived. Number 6. The Babysitter Is A Criminal. Bart and Lisa were in for the shock of a lifetime when they discovered that Miss Botts, the woman who was babysitting them, was actually a wanted criminal.
Remember, she may be using a clever alias.
Botts!
And should be considered armed and dangerous.
Ah!
Home invasions are no joke, and seeing bots tie the kids up and ransack the house did little to quell our nerves. Thankfully, Lisa and Bart are eventually able to break free and knock her out. What happens in the episode isn't the only dark thing. If things had gone as planned, this disturbing episode, which was the season 1 finale, actually would have been aired as the show's pilot. We're kind of glad that this intense episode wasn't the show's very first.
We're so sorry. We're so sorry.
Please turn off the TV.
Number 5. Barts Clown Bed. When Homer builds a bed for Bart, the heartwarming gesture is soured by the fact that the bed resembles a gigantic clown.
If you should die before you wake.
Sure, Homer meant well, but there's just no way Bart's going to be able to sleep well with this. And we can't say we blame him. Bart's immense fear of clowns, which we're no strangers to, makes it impossible for him to sleep, let alone breathe. As soon as Bart sees this nightmarish contraption, all he can imagine is the clown trying to eat him, and laughing in a way that sends chills down our spines.
I hate you.
Next time, just get a bed from IKEA, Homer. One that's preferably not from the Traumatize My Kids collection.
I hope you never say a word.
Daddy.
Number 4. Homer's face melts off. Bart and Homer's relationship has always been a little rocky. That's the only real conclusion you can make when one of the show's longest running gags is Homer strangling Bart.
Boy must die!
One of the lowest points was when Homer was considerably late arriving to pick Bart up from soccer.
Hey, boy. How was soccer practice?
But what makes this moment so horrifying is what Bart imagines happening to Homer. Homer, completely oblivious to his son's anger, rattles on. As he does, Bart imagines his skin melting right off the bone. The scene was visually startling and completely out of left field since everything else in the episode up until then was normal. Well, as normal as an episode of The Simpsons could be.
Marge, when kids these days say bad, they mean good.
Number 3. Homer's impending death? What would you do if you knew time was running out?
The Simpsons, son, I shall be blunt. We have reason to believe you have eaten poison.
When Homer eats a blowfish that might not have been cooked right, he's told he only has 24 hours to live. He creates a bucket list of things to do before he dies, like listening to Lisa play the saxophone and reconnecting with his dad.
I just want you to know that I love you, Dad.
This episode is dark, but maybe not in the way you'd expect. There's no creepy monster or disturbing axe murderer here, just a sinking feeling of dread as Homer is forced to confront his own mortality. Despite everything, Homer actually survives. It turns out his dinner wasn't that deadly after all.
He's alive! Homer! Homer, wake up! You're alive!
All right, stop it. Cut
Wake
it out.
up! You're alive! You're alive!
Number 2. Tied to a Boulder. Apart from being one of the show's earliest episodes, Homer's Odyssey is arguably one of its most serious because of the subject matter.
I might have known it was you, Simpson.
But, sir,
I want to hear about it, Simpson. You're fired. Oh, hi, girl.
Hi, Daddy. Oh.
When Homer is fired from his job at the power plant, he decides to take his life. His attempt is an elaborate one. He ties a large boulder to himself and tries to jump from a bridge. His family notices his erratic behavior and tries to stop him.
Well, live and learn.
There he is! Don't do it, Dad.
It's only when Homer saves them from getting hit by a car on the busy road that he's snapped out of his dishevelment.
Now I have a purpose, a reason to live. I don't care who I have to face. I don't care who I have to fight. I will not rest until the street gets a stop sign.
Number 1. Ned loses his wife. One of Ned's darkest hours came when his wife Maude met her untimely end.
Neddy, I've had about all I can take of Homer Simpson's torso. I'll get some hot dogs.
No footlongs.
I know. They make you uncomfortable.
It happened when she was struck in the head by multiple shots fired from a cannon. The force of the strike was so strong, it caused her to stumble from the bleachers and crash directly to the ground.
Maude?
Oh my lord, she's dead!
It was such a bizarre and sudden way to go, and Maud's death remains one of the show's most tragic.
In many ways, Maud Flanders was a supporting player in our lives. She didn't grab our attention with memorable catchphrases or comical accents.
Yar. Oh, Glavin, why, Glavin?
Unsurprisingly, the death is difficult for Ned and the kids. But the saddest moment might be when Ned goes to bed by himself. He instinctively puts his hand on the pillow next to him as if Maud were still there.
Sleep tight, Neddy.
Unfortunately, that's no longer the case.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.